Hello there. In this class we are going to be seeing what duality principle is. Now as you know that we are studying Boolean algebra and we are studying the laws of Boolean algebra. In the last class we discussed the 6 laws that are defined by Huntington, which were of Boolean algebra. Now in the next classes we are going to be studying some theorems, but before that we are going to study this principle which we are going to be using pretty much frequently while proving these theorems. Now first of all, the first thing that we know is that until now we have noticed that the laws and the theorems that we have in Boolean algebra, they all came in pairs. If you have noticed that, one for plus and one for dot, which means that one for OR operation and one for the AND operation. Now by getting that perspective, we will use these duality principles while proving these theorems. Now duality principle is also introduced by or proposed by the same guy who proposed the laws. Now what does this principle states? First of all, let's see that it simply states that every Boolean algebraic expression remains valid if the operators and the Boolean values are interchanged. He's trying to simply say that if you have an expression, let's say you have an expression, for example a plus b, let's say plus 1, simply you have a Boolean expression right here, so it will remain valid when you, even if you interchange the operators. It means that if you interchange the operators, let's say you convert this plus into dot and you convert this plus into dot, that's what we mean by interchanging the operators now. And if we interchange the Boolean values, if there is any Boolean value, yes, I have a Boolean value here which is 1, so I interchange it with 0, so it becomes a dot b dot 0. So by doing this, he says that this statement is also valid and this expression is also valid. So the validity does not changes when I perform something like this. So this will be called as the dual of this thing, this expression. So this expression is going to be called as the dual of this expression. So this is how you find out the dual of any given expression. So this is how duality principle works. Now why are we using it? We are using it to prove theorems. In the succeeding classes you are going to see that we are going to be proving theorems using this duality principle. But most of the time in MCQ and from paper perspective, you might have seen some question like this where you are going to be given a statement or an expression and the question will ask you that you need to find out the dual of that expression. So let's say I have an expression here, a dot b plus c equals 1. So this is the expression that I have. Now to find out the dual, we know that we need to first interchange the operators, and then we will need to interchange the Boolean values that we have. So first let's change the operators. So I have plus and dot here, so I'm going to interchange it with plus, and I have got plus here, so I'm going to interchange it with dot. So the other variables will remain on its place because these are not currently Boolean values. These are variables. We don't know their value. Maybe their value may be 1 or maybe their value can be 2. So we don't know that yet, but we have a straight 1 here which is a Boolean value. So it means that I need to interchange this Boolean value into 0, which was first 1, so I convert it into 0. So a plus b dot c equals 0 is going to be the dual of this thing. You might like see this as a really not important thing, but in the next coming classes, where we are trying to prove the theorems, you're going to see that this thing is pretty important thing and this thing is pretty easy for proving. This thing makes things very easy to prove. So we are going to be discussing the theorems from the next class. So this is it from here. We will use this duality principle in the coming classes. Thank you.